Assalamu alaikum. Hello viewers, hope you are all well and enjoying your life. I welcome you all to the channel of Learn with MW. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We are starting part 10 of pronoun in which we will be discussing about compound relative pronoun. Viewers, I want to give you a short recall. Viewers, in part 6 we have discussed about relative pronoun, that what is relative pronoun in English grammar. Then we discuss and define what is antecedent in English grammar. And then in part 7 we discuss the uses of relative pronoun who, whom and whose. And then in part 8 we have discussed about the uses of relative pronoun which, what, date, and some of the older relative pronoun which are is and but in a very grammatical and conceptual way. And then in part 9 we have discussed about the condition that when we will be using the relative pronoun that in reference to who or which, and we also have discussed the position of relative pronoun. So viewers, if you missed that videos, go through the channel, watch that video in order to learn relative pronoun from a different angle and in the style of grammarian. So viewers, now in part 10 we will be discussing further aspect of relative pronoun, which is basically compound relative pronoun. In order to start compound relative pronoun, I want to give you a short recall that what is the relative pronoun. Viewers, as mentioned earlier in my previous videos, that relative pronoun are the special type of pronoun that basically carry us back or refer to the noun or pronoun that are previously mentioned in a sentence. I will be giving you a short example. Look at example. If I write the example like this, I met Ali. I met Ali. Ali had just returned. I met Ali. Ali had just returned. If I write this sentence like this, I met Ali who had just returned. Viewers, I mentioned in part 7 that we will be using the relative pronoun who in order to show person. If you missed that video, go to the channel. We have discussed the use of relative pronoun in a very grammatical and conceptual way. So look it, instead of Ali, I uses the relative pronoun who. So who is basically a relative pronoun. And what is a relative pronoun? Relative pronoun basically refer or carry us back to the noun or pronoun that are previously mentioned in a sentence. And that noun and pronoun that are previously mentioned in a sentence are basically called antecedent. So it was just a short recall. Now we will be discussing about compound relative pronoun in a very grammatical and conceptual way. So this is just a short recall that who doesn't watch the videos that we previously uploaded on this channel, it was just for that relative pronoun are basically a special type of pronoun that basically refer or carry us back to the noun or pronoun that are previously mentioned in a sentence. Now we will be discussing about compound relative pronoun, that what is compound relative pronoun in English grammar. So look at pronouns that are formed. Pronouns that are formed by adding ever, so, and so ever. 2. Pronouns that are basically formed by adding ever, so, and so ever to the relative pronoun. Who, which, and what. These are basically called compound relative pronoun. The pronouns which are basically formed by adding ever, so and so ever to who, which and what. Now look it, we just making a combination. Look it, I'm making a combination. This is basically I'm writing ever. If I ate ever to who. So look at who. This is basically the relative pronoun who, and this is again the relative pronoun who. So if I ate, this will be the relative pronoun. This will be the relative pronoun which and what. So if I ate ever to all of these relative pronouns, then what we get? We get compound relative pronoun. So look at whoever, whichever, whatever. So we will look at all these are now all these pronouns are basically called compound relative pronouns. So look it, by adding ever to who is a basically relative pronoun. By adding ever to which is also a relative pronoun. By adding ever to what is basically a relative pronoun. So the combination is whoever, whichever and whatever. All these three are basically compound relative pronoun. Took a screenshot. I will be writing another combination as well. So hope you may took a screenshot. Now I want to write another screenshot, another technique. So look it, this is basically which and this is basically what. So if I add the word so to the relative pronoun who, the word so to the relative pronoun which, and the word so to the relative pronoun what we get? We get compound relative pronoun. Look at whoso, which so, and what so. So now we will whoso, which so and what so are basically compound relative pronoun. Why they are called compound? Because they are formed by adding so to the relative pronoun who, to the relative pronoun which, and to the relative pronoun what. Now took a screenshot. So now hope you guys took a screenshot of this. Now we will discussing the third combination. And the third combination is whichsoever. So if I adding the word soever to the relative pronoun who, soever to the relative pronoun which, and soever to the relative pronoun what we get? We get who, whosoever, whichsoever, and whatsoever. So we will whosoever, whichsoever, whatsoever are basically called compound relative pronoun because they are formed by adding the word soever to the relative pronoun who, to the relative pronoun which, and to the relative pronoun what. So we have learned about compound relative pronoun in English grammar. The pronouns that are formed by adding the word ever to the relative pronoun who, to the relative pronoun which, and to the relative pronoun what. And by adding the word so to the relative pronoun who, to the relative pronoun which, and to the relative pronoun what. And by adding the word soever to the relative pronoun who, to the relative pronoun which, and to the relative pronoun what we get? We call compound relative pronoun. Whoever, whichever, whatever, whoso, whichso, whatso, which, whosoever, whichsoever, and whatsoever. These type of pronoun are special type of pronoun, and the grammarian have given them, and that name is basically compound relative pronoun. Now we will learn through example as well. Now we will discuss the compound relative pronoun through example, and through example you will learn easily. So stay connected with us. Let's begin it. So look it, I have discussed the pronoun that are basically formed by adding ever, so, and so ever to the which, what, and all of these relative pronoun. What we get compound relative pronoun. So look it, whoever is basically compound relative pronoun, whichever is basically compound relative pronoun, whatever is also compound relative pronoun, and whomsoever also compound relative pronoun. So look at the first example. The first example is whoever comes is welcome. Basically, we were in part 7, I have told about the uses of relative pronoun, in which we have discussed that the relative pronoun who is basically used for the person. So that's why whomever basically mean any person. If I don't write whoever, the sentence will be like this: any person who comes is welcome. But if I write whoever, then we will rough who, and the sentence will be like this: whoever, any person. I just, in order to remind it that who is basically used for the person, so that's why I have, there is no need to write any person here, but in order to remind it that who relative pronoun is used for the person in English grammar, so the sentence will be this: whoever comes is welcome. In order to remove whoever, the sentence will be like this: any person who comes is welcome. Hope you guys understand. Look at, take whichever you like. So I have mentioned in the usage of the relative pronoun which, that which is basically used to show things, which is basically used to show things without life, things which is basically used to show things without life. We have discussed it in part 8 in a very grammatical and conceptual way. So if you missed that video, go to the channel, watch that video. You will have full grip on relative pronoun uses. So look at, take whichever you like. So because we write anything in for your understatement that which is basically used for thing, there is no need to write anything. The sentence will have this: take whichever you like, because whichever basically mean anything which you like. Now if I write the sentence in order to remove whichever, the sentence will like this: take anything which you like, take anything which you like. But if we do not write like this, anything which, we will just write take whichever you like. That's why whichever is a compound relative pronoun in this sentence. Look at the third sentence example: whatever he does well. We also have discussed in part 8 that what itself meaning is the things which we have discussed, and we have discussed it through example as well. So what is basically also used for the thing. So whatever, anything he does well. Now if I remove anything, the correct sentence is whatever he does well. So whatever in this sentence is basically compound relative pronoun, because it is formed from the combination of word and from the word ever. So look at the last example: I will take with me whomsoever you choose. So whom is also a relative pronoun, but it is basically, we have discussed in part 6 the forms of relative pronoun, and we have discussed that the nominative case of who is who, but the accusative and objective case of who is basically whom. So if you missed that video, in order to understand the forms of relative pronoun, go through it and watch the part 6 of pronoun. So look at, I will take with me whomsoever you choose. So whom is also used to show person. Whom is also used to show, because who and whom are same, but this is the nominative and subjective case, in whom is basically objective and accusative case. So I will take with me whomsoever you choose. So whomsoever, whatsoever, whichsoever, whatsoever, whomsoever, and whoever. All these words in this sentence, in these examples, are basically compound relative pronoun. Hope viewers, you understand compound relative pronoun, that what are compound relative pronoun in English grammar. In this video we have discussed about compound relative pronoun in a very grammatical and conceptual way. And viewers, we are all done with relative pronoun, because we have discussed relative pronoun in part 6, part 7, part 8, part 9, and now in part 10 in a very grammatical and conceptual way. So viewers, if you like all this video, share this video with your friends, like and subscribe the channel as well, and don't forget to comment. Thank you very much.